I would love that. I would love that. That's right. I am streaming on Halloween. I'm gonna come straight home from work, shower, and then stream until late, 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 late. Let's put on some scary music. I think I'm going to read a creepypasta. I don't remember if there's anything objectionable in it. I'm gonna read it anyway. Do you know this is a long creepypasta? It's not that long. I don't like reading things from the creepypasta wiki. Something about the creepypasta wiki just feels like it's like... I guess that's how we're gonna read it. I like ones that are on like their own web pages. Let's read this. Sure. That sounds good if you can organize them. I do like... What is int? Int? What is int creepypasta? We don't have to read the Smiling Man. What is int? Okay, maybe we don't do that. You have a favorite SCP? I don't get it. Let's read the Smiling Man. And then maybe we'll read something else. You ready? Everybody have a sip of water. I'm gonna have a sip of my water. Stretch if you haven't. I'm gonna switch my headphones to a different ear. Can you read it okay? I can make it bigger, I guess. Yes, I know about that. But I don't get why it's a programming joke with the creepypasta. About 5 years ago, I lived downtown in a major city in the US. I've always been a night person, so I would often find myself bored after my roommate, who was decidedly not a night person, went to sleep. To pass the time, I used to go for long walks and spend the time thinking. I spent 4 years like that, walking alone at night. Never once had a reason to feel afraid. I always used to joke with my roommate that even the drug dealers in the city were polite. All that changed in just a few minutes one evening. It was a Wednesday, somewhere between 1 and 2 in the morning. I was walking near a police-patrolled park quite a ways from my apartment. It was a quiet night, even for a weeknight, with very little traffic and almost no one on foot. The park, as it was most nights, was completely empty. I turned down a short side street in order to loop back to my apartment when I first noticed him. Far into the street, on my side, the silhouette of a man, dancing. It was a strange dance, similar to a waltz, but he finished each box with an odd forward stride. I guess you could say he was dance walking, headed straight for me. Deciding he was probably drunk, I stepped as close as I could to the road to give him the majority of the sidewalk to pass me. The closer he got, the more I realized how gracefully he was moving. He was very tall and lanky, wearing an old suit. He danced closer still until I could make out his face. His eyes were open wide and wild, head tilted back slightly, looking off at the sky. His mouth was formed in a painfully wide cartoon of a smile. Between the eyes and the smile, I decided to cross the street before he danced any closer. I took my eyes off him to cross the empty street. As I reached the other side, I glanced back, and then stopped dead in my tracks. He stopped dancing. He was standing with one foot in the street, perfectly parallel to me. He was still facing me, but still looking skyward, smile still wide on his lips. I was completely unnerved by this. I started walking again, kept my eyes on the man. He didn't move. Once I had put about half a block between us, I turned away from him for a moment to watch the sidewalk in front of me. The street and sidewalk ahead of me were completely empty. Still unnerved, I looked back to where he had been standing to find him gone. The briefest of moments, I felt relieved until I noticed him. He had crossed the street and was now slightly crouched down. I couldn't tell for sure due to the distance and the shadows. I was certain he was facing me. I looked away from him for no more than 10 seconds, so it was clear that he had moved fast. I was so shocked that I stood there for some time staring at him. And then he started moving towards me again. He took giant, exaggerated, tiptoed steps, as if he were a cartoon character sneaking up on someone, except he was moving very, very quickly. I'd like to say at this point, I ran away or I pulled out my pepper spray or my cell phone or anything at all, but I didn't. I just stood there, completely frozen as the smiling man crept towards me. And then he stopped again, about a car's length away from me, still smiling his smile, still looking to the sky. When I finally found my voice, I blurted out the first thing that came to my mind. What I meant to ask was, "What do you want?" in an angry, commanding tone. What came out was a whimper. "What?" Regardless of whether or not humans can smell fear, they can certainly hear it. I heard my own voice, and that only made me more afraid. But he didn't react to it at all. He just stood there, smiling. And then, after what felt like forever, he turned around, very slowly, and started dance walking away, just like that. Not wanting to turn my back to him again, I just watched him go until he was far enough away to be almost out of sight. And then I realized something. He wasn't moving away anymore, nor was he dancing. I watched in horror as the distant shape of him grew larger and larger. He was coming back my way. And this time he was running. I ran too. I ran until I was off the side road and back onto a better lit road with sparse traffic. Looking behind me then, he was nowhere to be found. The rest of the way home, I kept glancing over my shoulder, always expecting to see his stupid smile. He was never there. I lived in that city for 6 months after that night, and I never went out for another walk. There was something about his face that always haunted me. He didn't look drunk. He didn't look high. He looked completely and utterly insane. And that's a very, very scary thing to see. That was The Smiling Man by Blue Tidal. So it was just a guy in the street that just... So would you do this? Yeah, it's not like it's impossible. This could have happened. I guess that makes it scary. I can tell that a man wrote this. This is definitely the kind of story that a man wrote because I feel like, oh yeah, a guy was scary and was weird in the street. Like, what else is new? From like, like living in the world as a woman, it's like, oh yeah, a weird guy started dancing at me. It's like, I mean, not that I'm a woman, but like, it just seems like, I guess a lot of men aren't used to that feeling of being pursued in the street. So it's like, I don't know. Sorry to make this all about like gender or whatever. That's just my first thought after reading this. Yeah, they did make him unpredictable. He ran at him and then he disappeared. That feeling when you look at someone and there's just something really wrong. I understand that. But then again, I was at the hayride the other day with my friends and I was smiling like I imagined to other people my smile on the hayride must have looked insane. I was just really happy to be on a hayride. Nobody else was smiling, just me. Some people just have different emotions than other people, and that's okay. Just because you can't relate with someone's emotions doesn't necessarily mean that they're crazy and they're gonna hurt you. But him coming at you and dancing like that is weird behavior. That is weird behavior. That was The Smiling Man. I forgot The Smiling Man. You lost your shoe. That's scary. Did The Smiling Man give you your shoe back? Hi, Margie. I love you too. How are you? I played through some Pikmin's Submerged Castle, and they played a little Luigi. How's your day going? You just wake up? Your mom made fun of you? I'm sorry. Did she at least, like... How old were you? If my kid... Oh, sorry you have to see that Smiling Man. If my kid lost his shoe on the hayride, I would carry him home, even if he was a big kid, because I don't want anyone to experience that sensation of moist ground on your sock. That's the worst. You're catching up on sleep. Very good to hear. I'm alive. I'm dead. I don't know that meme. Stop kicking the corn, you're gonna lose a shoe, and then you lost a shoe. Okay, in that case. In that case. Can we get a PDF of Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark? Barrett does a piracy. Oh my god, we got it. Yo, we got it. Oh my god, we got it! Am I allowed to do this? Am I allowed to read this? I promise everybody go buy this book. Go buy these books, okay? And buy the original copy. I want to read this. Do you have a favorite? Pioneers used to ride these babies for miles. He's from New Jersey. Okay, let's read the foreword. I gotta make it little. Can you see this? Can I like change the view? I wonder if I've never done it like this before. Presentation mode. Ooh. Oh my gosh, guys, look what I found. Do you have a favorite of scary stories to tell in the dark? I love this presentation view. Oh my gosh. Okay. For those who have not read this book before, plus and minus. It's not going to work like this. Anyway. It's really about the art. I'll read the story to you. And look at the pictures. That's what the most important part of these stories are. Pioneers used to entertain themselves by telling scary stories. At night, they might gather in somebody's cabin or around a fire and see who could scare the others the most. Some girls and boys in my town do the same thing today. They get together at somebody's house, they turn out the lights and eat popcorn, scare one another half to death. Telling scary stories is something people have done for thousands of years. For most of us like being scared in that way. Since there isn't any danger, we think it's fun. There are a great many scary stories to tell. There are ghost stories. There are tales of witches, devils, boogeymen, zombies, and vampires. There are tales of monstrous creatures and of other dangers. There are even stories that make us laugh at all this scariness. Some of these tales are very old, and they are told around the world. And most have the same origins. They are based on things that people saw or heard or experienced, or thought they did. Many years ago, a young prince became very famous for a scary story he started to tell but did not finish. His name was Mamillius. He was probably 9 or 10 years old. William Shakespeare told about him in A Winter's Tale. It was on a dark winter's day that his mother, the queen, asked him for a story. "A sad tale's best for winter," he said. "I have one of sprites and goblins." "Do your best to frighten me with your sprites," she said. "You're powerful at it." "I shall tell it softly," he said. "Yonder crickets shall not hear it." And he began. There was a man dwelt by a churchyard. That was as far as he got. For at that moment the king came in and arrested the queen and took her away. And soon after that, Mamillius died. No one knows how he would have finished his story. If you started as he did, what would you tell? Most scary stories are, of course, meant to be told. They are more scary that way. But how you tell them is important. As Mamillius knew, the best way is to speak softly, so that your listeners lean forward to catch your words, and to speak slowly, so that your voice sounds scary. And the best time to tell these stories is at night. In the dark and the gloom, it's easy for someone listening to imagine all sorts of strange and scary things. Alvin Schwartz, Princeton, New Jersey. Thank you, Alvin. This man was formative to my childhood, so I appreciate him. Jump stories. See if I remember any of these. Oh my god, one of my favorites. This was such a weird one. I remember this one. This was in the movie. There was a haunted house where every night a bloody head fell down the chimney. At least that's what people said. But nobody would stay there overnight. Then, a rich man offered $200 to whoever would do it. And this boy said he would try if he could have his dog with him. So it was all settled. Very next night, the boy went to the house with his dog. To make it more cheerful, he started a fire in the fireplace. Then he sat in front of the fire and waited. His dog waited with him. For a while, nothing happened. But a little after midnight, he heard someone singing softly off in the woods. The singing sounded something like this. Ni-tai do-ti walker. It's just somebody singing, the boy told himself. He was frightened. And then the dog answered the song. Softly and sadly it sang. Linchy Kinchy, Holly Molly, Dingo Dingo. The boy could not believe his ears. His dog had never uttered a word before. Then a few minutes later, he heard the singing again. Now it was closer and louder, but the words were the same. Ni-tai do-ti walker. This time the boy tried to stop his dog from answering. He was afraid that whoever the singing would hear it and come for them. His dog paid no attention, and again it sang, Linchy Kinchy, Collie Molly, Dingo Dingo. A half hour later, the boy heard the singing again. Now it was in the backyard, and the song was the same. Me-tai do-ti walker. Oh my god. Again, the boy tried to keep his dog quiet. The dog sang out louder than ever. Linchy Kinchy, Collie Molly, Dingo Dingo. Oh my god. Soon the boy heard the singing again. Now it was coming down the chimney. Me-tai do-ti walker. Dog sang it right back. Linchy Kinchy, Collie Molly, Dingo Dingo. Suddenly, a bloody head fell out of the chimney. It missed the fire and landed right next to the dog. The dog took one look at it and, don't worry, the dog is fine. And then the head, it stared at the boy, opened his mouth, and boom! That's when you grab your friend. These are good stories. There's just a page that says "ah" on it. I used to like that story. I like these stories. Can we do the... Oh, I need to... Wait, let me get my melodica. Let me try this. What are the notes here? There was an old woman, all skin and bone, who lived near the graveyard all alone. Ooh, ooh, ooh. They combined two stories. The Me-tai do-ti walker story was actually really scary. Because they combined two stories. In the movie, the head comes down, and then a torso comes down, and then an arm, and then a leg, and then another leg. And then the jangly man comes and gets him. Oof, that face. Ugh, look at that face. Ugh, so scary. I like how there's little songs in this. Let's do this one. This one's scary. I remember this one. Some boys and girls were at a party one night. There was a graveyard down the street. They were talking about how scary it was. Don't ever stand on a grave after dark, one of the boys said. The person inside will grab you. He'll pull you under. That's not true, one of the girls said. It's just a superstition. I'll give you $1 if you stand on a grave. A grave doesn't scare me. I'll do it right now. The boy handed her his knife. Stick this knife into one of the graves, he said. Then we'll know that you were there. The graveyard was filled with shadows and was quiet as death. It's nothing to be scared of, the girl told herself. She was scared anyway. She picked out a grave and stood on it. Then quickly she bent over and plunged the knife into the soil. She started to leave. She couldn't get away. Something was holding her back. She tried a second time to leave, but she couldn't move. She was filled with terror. Something's got me. She screamed. She fell to the ground. When she didn't come back, the others went to look for her. They found her body sprawled across the grave. Without realizing it, she had plunged the knife through her skirt and had pinned it to the ground. It was only the knife that had held her. She had died of fright. Mark, I really enjoyed the movie. They made it so that the kids read a book, and the book ends up like the stories come true to them when they read it. I remember liking this one. Room for One More. A man named Joseph Blackwell came to Philadelphia on a business trip. He stayed with friends in the big house they owned outside the city. That night, they had a good time visiting. But when Blackwell went to bed, he tossed and turned and couldn't sleep. Sometime during the night, he heard a car turn into the driveway. He went to the window to see who was arriving at such a late hour. In the moonlight, he saw a long black hearse filled with people. The driver of the hearse looked up at him. When Blackwell saw his queer, hideous face, he shuddered. The driver called to him. There's room for one more. And then he waited a moment or two. He drove off. In the morning, Blackwell told his friends what had happened. We were dreaming, they said. It must have been, but it didn't seem like a dream. Oh, sorry, I have ads. Just waiting a second. You're back. Great. We're gonna wait 3 more seconds. His first mistake was going to Philadelphia. Excuse you, I was born there. It's fair, though. Parts of Philly now. Okay. After breakfast, he went into Philadelphia. Spent the day high above the city in one of the new office buildings there. Late in the afternoon, he was waiting for an elevator to take him back down to the street. But when it arrived, it was very crowded. One of the passengers looked out and called to him. "There's room for one more," he said. It was the driver of the hearse. "No thanks," said Blackwell. "I'll get the next one." The doors closed, and the elevator started down. There was shrieking and screaming, and then the sound of a crash. The elevator had fallen to the bottom of the shaft. Everyone aboard was killed. You're going in and out. The meme. Let me see the meme. I'm alive. Let me see this. I have to mute myself. Check this out. Oh my god, so cute. I love dogs.
I'm dead. Watch TV. I'm looking at you. Fuck you. I'm dead again.
Oh my god.
Watch TV. I'm looking at you.
Dogs are too precious for this world. I love them. Go fast. Go fast. Thank you for sharing that. That made me so funny. I'm glad you like these stories. This book was like so formative for me growing up. I'm not going to do the Wendigo. I don't know enough about the Wendigo to. I've seen people taking the Wendigo out of its cultural context. I'm not sure if that's my gut is telling me that is Wendigo behavior to take the Wendigo stories out of their context, but I could be wrong. I don't care for that one. I don't like that one. Oh, this is the man hook. How does it go? Man hook hand car door. Man hook hand car door. This is the one from the meme. Did I change it to just chatting? Dude, did I not change this to just chatting? I'm just chatting. Man hook, hand hook, car door. hand hook, man hand hook. I'm having an aneurysm. What's it called? Man door, hand hook, car door. One of the pages had something called, there was an old lady in the picture. Oh, scary game? Okay. I don't like looking at the man's head with brains. No. Oh, no, gracias. No quiero ver. I've actually played this game. I've played this game. I played this in school. I'll read it, but it scares. I have a one of my fears is this is a very strange fear. I'm not afraid of gore. I'm afraid of fake gore. Very strange. If somebody tells me that this is somebody's guts and it turns out to be a tomato or something like that, or spaghetti or something about that makes me very uncomfortable because the human body is the human body. The human body is not a tomato. Something about that really creeps me out, like more than it being organs. I don't know why I'm like this. If I am ever in like the Halloween aisle at like CVS or something and there's that plastic hand
I see that plastic hand, it freaks me out because hands are not made of plastic. Human hands are made of flesh and they're warm, and or if they're dead, they're cold, but they're not plastic. So I played this game when I was little and I hated it. It might be similar to that, Mark. There's something very uncanny about it. I'm not even going to read this because this story I know will frighten me. It's just one of my biggest, strangest things that I don't do is fake body parts. But I did play this game when I was little. Let's do the man door hand hook car door. Okay? This is the real man door hand hook car door.
Donald and Sarah went to the movies. They went for a ride in Donald's car. They parked up on a hill at the edge of town. From there, they could see the lights up and down the valley. Donald turned on the radio and found some music. But an announcer broke in with a news bulletin. A murderer had escaped from the state prison. He was armed with a knife and was headed south on foot. His left hand was missing. In its place, he wore a hook. "Let's roll up the windows and lock the doors." "That's a good idea," said Donald. "Prison isn't too far away. Maybe we should really go home." "It's only 10 o'clock, said Donald. "I don't care what time it is. I want to go home." "Look, Sarah, he's not going to climb all the way up here. Why would he do that? Even if he did, all the doors are locked. How could he get in?" "Donald, he could take that hook and break through a window and open a door," she said. "I'm scared. I want to go home." Donald was annoyed. "Girls are always afraid of something," he said. As he started the car, Sarah thought she heard someone, or something, scratching at her door. "Did you hear that?" she asked, as they roared away. "It sounded like somebody was trying to get in." "Oh, sure," said Donald. Sure. Soon they got to her house. "Would you like to come in and have some cocoa?" she asked. "No," he said. "I've got to go home." He went around to the other side of the car to let her out. Hanging on the door handle was a hook. Midnight Man or the elevator game? Oh, do you know about the elevator game? I don't know if I want to talk about the elevator game. I'll talk about it, but I won't talk about Elisa Lam. If it mentions Elisa Lam, I'm not going to read it, okay? That's my stipulation. If it talks about her, I'm not going to do it. Do you know the... What's the website? Do you know it? What's the website called? I'll read the elevator game, though. I just don't want to do the... Scary Mommy. ScaryMommy.com. Ooh, there's an elevator game Roblox level. Can we do that? Yo, we should play the Roblox level.
Okay, we need to play the Roblox level. Are there any more haunted Roblox levels? I need to find that. Does it have like a server link? I didn't log into Roblox. Okay, let me take off screen share so I can log into Roblox. Okay, cool. It's called The Ghost in My Machine. Here we go. I just typed that in. I got a ping. Oh, I see. You posted it there. Thank you. Ooh, which one? Is there one that you like? What's the best one? There's so many here. Should I zoom in? Can you see? Banana tree summoning ritual? We gotta do banana tree summoning ritual. Can't read this. Several commenters noted that banana trees in general are subject to a wide variety of superstitions in a number of Asian cultures. I started digging into the whole thing deeply. It became apparent that variation of specific superstition and tradition exists in a substantial number of nations and regions. Malaysia, Singapore, India, and China. Interestingly, though, despite the basic rules being more or less the same from variation to variation, tie a red thread to a banana tree on one end, either your toe or your bed on the other, then go to sleep in order to summon a supernatural being to meet you later. Exactly who or what you summon by following them is not. Both the goals of the ritual and the specific result depend entirely on where you are and what belief system. Okay. Banana tree planted outside your home, somewhere safe to sleep inside your home. Red thread, string or yarn, enough to cover the distance between the banana tree outside your home and the sleeping location inside your home. Scissors. Summoning your visitor. Begin at night. Prepare the location in which you plan to sleep. Make it as comfortable as possible. If sleeping in a bed, turn down the covers. If sleeping in a sleeping bag, unroll it. And lay it out neatly. Ensure that you have enough pillows, etc. Place the scissors within easy reach of your bed, sleeping bag, etc. Hello. How are you, Joelle? I will call you Joelle. El Carita. I keep calling you Joelle. I'm sorry. How are you, Edgarita? Hi, Glitch. I'm reading about the banana tree summoning ritual. Summoning a visitor by tying a thread to a banana tree. Shortly before your bedtime, take your spool or ball of red thread, string, or yarn and go outside with it. Approach the banana tree. Tie the loose end of the string around the trunk of the banana tree and fasten it securely. You may use whatever method you prefer, a knot, a bow, etc., as long as it is tight and unlikely to come undone. Return to the inside of your home, unspooling the thread, string, or yarn as you go. Close the door behind you. Once inside, proceed to your sleeping location. Keep unspooling the thread, string, or yarn as you go. If your sleeping location has a door, close it behind you. Keep unspooling the thread, string, or yarn as you go. Once inside the sleeping location, go to the bed, sleeping bag, etc. Keep unspooling the thread, string, or yarn as you go. Probably read that twice. Oh no, it's similar. Once you reach your bed, sleeping bag, etc., settle down in it, unspool a final few feet of thread, string, or yarn. Enough of that where you'll be able to attach it to one end. You would still be able to move freely, unconstrained. Retrieve your scissors and cut the end of the thread from the spooler ball. Tie this end of the thread around your big toe. You may choose which foot. The only stipulation is that it must be your big toe, not any other toe. Lie down, tuck yourself in, go to sleep. If you sleep undisturbed until morning, the ritual has failed. Cut the thread from your toe, then return outside to the banana tree and cut it from the tree as well. Dispose of the thread, ideally by burning it. You may try again another night. If you wake in the middle of the night, the ritual has succeeded. You may proceed. Making your choice. Upon waking up, assess your surroundings and/or determine what woke you. ¿No vas a poder entrar en mis directos? ¿Por qué? ¿Qué ha pasado? If you are alone in your room and/or you feel the string tugging on your toe, rise from your bed, exit your sleeping location, and go outside. If you are not alone and you hear a wailing sound, stay where you are. From here, proceed according to your specific situation. If you have gone outside, look to the banana tree. If you see something, or perhaps someone waiting for you, approach them. If you see nothing or no one, proceed immediately back inside. Return to your sleeping location and stay there until sun is risen. Then cut and dispose of the red thread as previously described in step 13 of summoning your visitor. If you have remained inside, face whatever it is you've summoned. Now that you have met your visitor, you may proceed in one of several ways. You may ask your visitor to perform the action of your choosing in exchange for their freedom. Ask your visitor to grant you a wish in exchange for their freedom. Ask your visitor to reveal to you the next set of winning lottery numbers in exchange for their freedom. Allow your visitor to go free without requesting anything in exchange. Allow your visitor to do with you as they wish. Note, it is not recommended that you choose this option. Make your choice. Reaping what you've sown. Pay attention in the minutes, hours, or days to come. As soon as you have received what you requested, immediately cut the thread from your toe and then proceed outside, approach the banana tree, and then cut the thread from it as well. Dispose of the thread, if possible, burn it. Well, was it worth it? Was it? Huh. Do not allow the thread to snap. It may only be broken by you yourself as a means of terminating the ritual. Should any other person or force cause the thread to snap, you will suffer the consequences. Don't play it too many times.
If you do not cut the thread, you made a promise, remember? You said you'd set her free. Do not break your promise. She doesn't like liars. Gosh. Interesting. What was the one that you said? The Hooded Man? The Hooded Man and Midnight Man? Let's start with Midnight Man. I can't find the Midnight Man. Is it the Midnight Game? The Hat Man. There it is. It's up here. Midnight Game? It's this one, right? The Midnight Game? It is believed this was a pagan ritual used as punishment for those who dared to disobey the gods. Or at least that's how it's usually positioned. The claim is dubious. It's likely an indication that this originated as a creepypasta. Goes back to 2010. Okay. Proceed at your own risk. Requirements: 1 candle, a lighter, a book of matches, a piece of paper, a writing implement, a pin, sterilized. A wooden door closed, salt. Begin prior to midnight. Write your full name, first, middle, and last, on the piece of paper with your writing implement. Prick your finger with the pin and squeeze until a drop of blood appears. Dot the blood on the paper and allow it to soak in. Turn off every light in your home. Place the paper with your name and blood on it in front of a closed wooden door. Light the candle using matches or lighter and place it on top of the paper. If you're using a taper, make sure that it is placed in a candle holder. Knock on the door 22 times. The final knock must occur precisely when the clock chimes 12 a.m. Open the door and blow out the candle and close the door. Relight your candle immediately. Main event. Keeping your candle in hand and your salt and matches or lighter close by, begin to move about your home. Should your candle go out, you must relight it within the next 10 seconds. If you are successful, continue moving around your home. Do not stop moving until 3:33 a.m. If you are unsuccessful in relighting the candle, immediately surround yourself with a circle of salt. Remain inside the circle until 3:33 a.m. The ending. At 3:33 a.m., it is safe to stop moving or step outside your circle of salt. You may also turn on the lights. The game is over. The Midnight Game may be played with more than one player. In this instance, all players are principals. As such, each player must perform the invitation individually. The invitation welcomes an entity known as the Midnight Man inside your home. The goal of the game is to avoid meeting the Midnight Man in the dark. Continually moving about your home will make it more difficult for him to find you. Should you stop moving at any point, he will catch you. Accounts differ as to what befalls players caught by the Midnight Man. Some claim he will induce a hallucination of your worst fear until the end of the game. Others claim he will remove your organs one by one. Both outcomes are to be avoided at all costs. You don't say. Indications that the Midnight Man is near include, but are not limited to, the following: sudden drops in temperature, the sound of a soft whisper with no discernible source, the appearance of a humanoid figure within the darkness, a candle going out. Should you experience any of the first three occurrences, leave the area immediately. Should you experience the fourth, following the previously given instructions, relighting the candle within the next 10 seconds will keep the Midnight Man temporarily at bay. Should you fail to perform this action correctly, the Circle of Salt will do the same. Do not fail to do either. There are no known methods to abort the game. At 3:33 a.m., Midnight Man will leave your home. After he has left, you may safely end the game. Do not turn on any lights during the game. Do not use a flashlight during the game. Do not go to sleep during the game. Do not use a lighter instead of a candle during the game. Do not use a person's blood other than your own during the game. Do not attempt to leave your home during the game. Do not attempt to provoke the Midnight Man during the game. And most importantly, do not assume that the Midnight Man has left your home for good at the conclusion of the game. Oof. It's just like tempting fate. Yeah. I'm getting scared. I don't like the sound of a Midnight Man, because remember, I live by myself. I'm scared right now. Let's do the Hooded Man. The Hooded Man ritual. And then we'll go back to scary stories to tell in the dark for a little bit. There are so many steps, and it's hard. You think I'll like it? Okay. Can you read it okay? Thank you. Yes, if I get scared, it would be nice to watch Ghibli to feel better. Thank you, Glitch. I love Ghibli. You know I love Ghibli. That always makes me feel better. Okay. It only needs one player. 2 black cords or ropes measuring a half a meter in length. A telephone if you have access to an old-fashioned rotary phone. It is suggested you use it, as it will provide the greatest effect. A modern touch-tone phone will also work, although it is recommended that it be of a corded variety. Cordless or cellular phones may present some difficulties and are not recommended. Matches or a lighter. A watch. Salt. A watch party sounds delightful. I was thinking of watching Scary Godmother Halloween Spooktacular. I was considering doing that. I thought that would be fun. I love Scary Godmother. Totoro, though. Any Ghibli movie would be just like my favorite thing to watch. I do have a lot of them in my house, so I could easily share them. Okay. Let's get back into this. You have the phone. You have the cord. Matches. A watch. Salt. Prior to beginning, perform a cleansing ritual in the location in which you plan to perform the Hooded Man ritual. Burning a sage smudge stick and spreading salt or ash before the front door are recommended. For more detailed instructions, see here. Shut all the doors, close all the windows, and draw all the curtains. Turn off the lights, as well as all electronic devices. Set the 2 black cords, as well as the matches or lighter, near the phone. Scary Plock music. Scary Plock. Empty your pockets of any power or protection items, but keep the watch on your person. Begin at night. Sit down before the telephone and count to the number 13. Then, Blocktober. Leaving the phone on the hook, dial the following number. Tie 1 black cord securely to the telephone's handset. Lift the handset by holding the cord only. You lift it by the cord tied around the phone. Interesting. Okay, it's on the hook. You dial 204-96888. Then you lift the handset by holding the cord without touching the phone. You dial 2551-5823. Majora's Mask is scary. I wish I had that game. Count to 13. Set the handset down, but do not hang it back on the cradle. Speak the following words into the receiver. Hello? I need a cab. Untie the first black cord from the handset and replace it with the second one, making sure to secure it tightly. Burn the first cord immediately if possible. If it is not possible to do immediately, burn it as soon as you have completed the ritual. Open the curtains and look out. If you have completed steps 1 through 5 correctly, you'll see a black taxi cab parked outside. Exit the building, locking the door behind you, and climb into the cab's empty back seat. Lock the cab door and go to sleep. When you awaken, use your watch to check the time. If your watch reads anything other than 3:30 a.m., exit the cab and re-enter your home within 2 minutes. Proceed to the ending step 1. If your watch reads 3:30 a.m., go back to sleep. When you awaken for the second time, you will find the cab to be driving on a highway with a man wearing a hood at the wheel. Do not do any of the following. Panic. Attempt to get out of the cab while it's moving. Or speak to any other passengers the cab may pick up. When you are ready to end your ride, lean close to the man's ear and say the following words slowly and deliberately. I have reached my destination. You will fall asleep one last time. When you awaken, you will have returned to your starting location. The ending. Once you have returned to your starting location, seat yourself before the phone once more and dial the following number. 200082. Use the black cord to lift the handset, set it down, and recite the following words into the receiver. Thank you for the ride. Untie the black cord from the handset. Burn it, then bury the ashes of both it and the first cord in the ground. Scatter salt over the top of the burial site. Perform a cleansing ritual. A different picture of a clock every day. That's perfect, Glitch. You should totally do that. Clocktober sounds awesome. My music stopped. Sage, salt, or other items of protection may be used during the cleansing rituals performed before and after the Hooded Man ritual. However, these items should not be carried with you while you're performing the Hooded Man ritual. Should you feel threatened, followed, stalked, or otherwise unsafe at any point during the ritual, do not proceed. If you've not gotten in the back of the cab, do not enter it. If you have, perform step 5 of during the ride. Panicking, attempting to exit the moving vehicle, or speaking to any other passengers may result in dire or fatal consequences. Do not, under any circumstances, perform those actions. Concerning the length of the cab ride, you may allow the cab ride to continue as long as you desire. However, it should be noted that the longer the ride, the more difficult it is to emerge from the landscapes through which the cab passes. Should you wish to return to the same world you left, it is recommended that you do not allow the cab ride to go on for undue amounts of time. It is unknown what happens when the cab stops. If you are feeling adventurous, you may attempt to find out. But don't count on being able to return home again once you get there.
Going on a liminal car ride. It reminds me of a death chariot. Do you think Coen Brothers movies are copyright? I would love to show a clip from a Coen Brothers movie. I don't think I will. Can we do a couple more of these scary stories to tell in the dark? I was enjoying this. What was presentation view again? No, that is copyright. Curse you, autoplay. I did like them. I did like them. They were very good stories. I appreciate. Thank you for sharing them. I found the Midnight Man to be very scary because he's in the house with you. As someone that lives alone, that's just a very frightening thought. Was this presentation view? How did I do presentation view before? No, that's downloading. I wonder how I did it. I definitely did it. There we go. Oh, Mark. Sorry. I did really like your games. I found the Midnight Man to be very, very scary because I live alone. I like the liminal car ride too. That was more cool than scary. The Midnight Man scared me shitless. I got very frightened at just imagining him in my house. Oof. Not doing that ritual. Can I read you one of my favorites from when I was little? This is The Viper. A widow lived alone at the top floor of an apartment house. One morning, her telephone rang. Hello, she said.
This is the Viper,
a man said.
I'm coming up.
Someone's fooling around, she thought, and hung up. A half hour later, the telephone rang again. It was the same man.
It's the Viper, he said. I'll be up soon.
The widow didn't know what to think, but she was getting frightened. Once more, the telephone rang. Again, it was the Viper.
I'm coming up now, he said.
She quickly called the police. They said they'd be right over. When the doorbell rang, she sighed with relief. They're here, she thought. But when she opened the door, there stood a little old man with a bucket and a cloth.
I am the Viper, he said. I wish to wash and wipe the windows.
I like that one. The slithery D. The slithery D. He came out of the sea. He ate all the others, but he didn't eat me. The slithery D. He came out of the sea. He ate all the others, but he didn't eat. Scary. Let's do this one. I don't know this one, but there's cats in it, so I like it. An old man was out for a walk. When a storm came up, he looked for a place to take shelter. Soon he came to an old house. He rang up the porch and knocked on the door, but nobody answered. By now, rain was pouring down. Thunder was booming and lightning was flashing. So he tried the door. When he found it was unlocked, he went inside. Except for a pile of boxes, the house was empty. He broke up some of the boxes and made a fire with them. And he sat down in front of the fire and dried himself. It was so warm and cozy that he fell asleep. He woke up. A black cat was sitting near the fire. It stared at him for a while, and then it purred. That's a nice cat, he thought. He dozed off again. When he opened his eyes, there was a second cat in the room. This one was as big as a wolf. It looked at him very closely and it asked, "Shall we do it now?" "No," said the other cat. "Let's wait till Martin comes." "I must be dreaming," thought the old man. He closed his eyes again. He took another look. And now there was a third cat in the room. This one was as big as a tiger. It looked the old man over. It asked, "Shall we do it now?" "No," said the others. "Let's wait till Martin comes." The old man jumped out the window and started running. "When Martin comes, you tell him I couldn't wait." I like that one. I remember Bloody Fingers. Those are funny stories. Yeah, King Dedede Doo energy, right? What about this one? This one's supposed to be scary. "May I carry your basket?" Sam Lewis spent the evening playing chess at his friend's house. It was about midnight when they finished their game and he started home. Outside it was icy cold and as quiet as the grave. As he came around a turn in the road, he was surprised to see a woman walking ahead of him. She was carrying a basket covered with a white cloth. When he caught up to her, he looked to see who it was, but she was so bundled against the cold it was hard to see her face. "Good evening," Sam said. "What brings you out so late?" She didn't answer. Then he said, "May I carry your basket?" She handed it to him. From under the cloth, a small voice said, "That's very nice of you." And that was followed by wild laughter. Ugh! Sam was so startled that he dropped the basket and out rolled a woman's head. He looked at the head and stared at the woman. "It's her head!" he cried. He started to run and the woman began to chase him. Soon the head caught up to him. It bounded into the air and sunk its teeth into his left leg. Sam screamed with pain and ran faster, but the woman and her head stayed right behind. Soon, the head leaped into the air again and bit his other leg. Then, they were gone. Yeah, there's funny stories and scary stories in this book. Deserved it. I think he deserved it. Anyway, let me change my... Okay, my friends. I had a lot of fun today. I feel like... I feel like this was good. This was good. I'm gonna do another stream on
Halloween. I'm gonna come home straight from work. I'm gonna stream till later in the day because I have the next day off. I want to thank everybody that came to hang out and listen to scary stories with me, and playing Pikmin and some Luigi's Mansion. I had a very good time, but my soul is weary. I shall rest. I hope that all of you don't turn out the light. Keep the nightlight on. I will certainly keep my light night on. I love you all very much. Glitch, we should definitely coordinate a watch party. I think that'll be very fun. Studio Ghibli would be delightful. I'm glad you had a good time, Mark. I had a lot of fun. Thank you for sending the games, Mark. That was really interesting. Yes, that sounds great. And enjoy the fire. Nice and cozy. I'm going to get myself nice and cozy now. I love you all. Take good care of yourselves. Let me see if any of our friends is streaming right now. Nobody that I know, so I think I'm gonna raid Wolf Conservation Center. Take care. Have a great night, Tojiko-san. You Kiki's or how? Ooh, good choices. I like both of them. Those are both some of my favorite movies. Tojiko-san, I hope you have had a great day too. I hope everybody has a beautiful night, a great day, whatever time it is. I love you all. Take care. Don't turn out the light. The bug. That bug though.
I am the cheese. I am the best character on the show. I am better than both the salami and the bologna combined.
Bye. Bye.